All right, guys, welcome back to the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. We have an amazing episode for you guys. We have the founders of Strive and Grind Branding, Devona and Kevin Stimson in the house. How you guys doing today?
What's up?
Doing great, man. Doing great. How about you guys?
We're doing well. We're hanging in there. I mean, shoot, we like your guys' background. That's kind of inspiring us. I can't stop staring at it.
Stay focused. Thank you. We appreciate it.
And it's really cool. This is like the first time we've done kind of like a couples type episode and had like a guest on. So this is going to be fun. So I know you guys have a lot to bring to the table and you guys are going to add some great stuff. So I'm excited.
So are we.
Are
hey,
too.
and we're blessed and honored to be here. So thanks so much for having us on.
And to be the first
welcome.
couple.
I know.
We'll take that slot.
That's going down in the history books. All right, guys. So we like getting this episode started by just giving the audience an idea of who our guests are. So if you guys want to tell us who Kevin and Devona are and what your story is, that'd be amazing.
Cool. Take it away, babe.
Yeah, so I'm Devona. Obviously, this is Kevin, and we are the founders of Strive and Grind, which is a branding and creative boutique. We're all about helping entrepreneurs create memorable, disruptive, and badass brands that dominate. And so we are actually high school sweethearts, taking it back a little bit. We met on MySpace. We've been together for 10 years now. So we've been really literally growing up together both as partners in life, but also in business. And we started Strive and Grind a few years ago. And from then, we've just been rocking it and killing it.
Yep.
Love
That's it in a nutshell. Yeah.
All right. The MySpace thing, that was just, that was way back then.
Yeah. Literally 2006. I mean, this was back in the AIM days. Top 8, top 10, top 12 when that whole thing was going on. And it's really cool because Devona used to create custom MySpace layouts. And that's how everybody started to know who she was. And I was like, yo, she's dope. And then I shot her an AIM message one day. And then, the rest is history from there.
There
so
you go.
we've been grinding it out since.
Love it. That's an awesome story. All right. So to give our audience some context, I want to just kind of rewind a little bit. And I want you guys to kind of just explain to them what branding is, why it's so important in today's crazy ass society.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's first start off with what it's not, right? A lot of people have the notion that branding is your logo, it's your website, it's your product or service. Like that's what it is. It's that tangible thing. Branding actually isn't any of those. It's actually it's about how you make people feel, and it's about perception. And once you get super clear on those two things, you're good to go. And so it's really all about what people are saying about you, what they're thinking about you, and what you're feeling about you. So, take Strive and Grind in our business, for instance. We can be crushing it, right? We'll have like a 7-figure business. We'll have a lot of customers. We have a lot of clients, a lot of money coming in. And, from the outside of things, externally, it may look like we're doing really, really well. But internally, there could be problems and challenges because, if one person is saying, oh, well, I thought Strive and Grind did this, and the other person saying like, oh, well, I thought they did that and this and this and this, then it ends up becoming incongruent and inconsistent. So you want to make sure that people clearly understand what it is that you do, what your message is, what you stand for. You want to make sure that all your touch points are in alignment. So, your product or service is a touch point of your overall brand. Your logo is a touch point. Your customer service, your sales team, if you have a physical location, that's a touch point. Your actual physical product, all these different elements make up your brand. And so a lot of the biggest brands in the world, they spend so much time, money, resources, and energy, for 10, 20, 15, 20, 30 years to get the brand message right. And a lot of people think it happens overnight, and it doesn't. It takes a lot of time and energy to just make sure that you're consistently laying down that right foundation time and time again.
And it's really, I think, really important in today's age because there's all these online, businesses, and there's just a lot of crowding and clutter in the marketplace. And branding is really the only way that you can connect with people on an authentic level because it's all about emotion. It's like an intangible asset to your business. And like Kevin said, it's just having all those pieces make up the big puzzle piece of who you are as a brand and as a business.
Yeah, that's perfect. And like I said, what you guys said was it's like a huge puzzle, and you guys got to put those little pieces together to make up that big, large puzzle. So that's great. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and I like how you guys broke down how it's just all different elements too, because I think a lot of people just think, oh, branding is just like a logo or something. It's like that's not true. And you guys gave an amazing presentation back at the Mastermind and Connect, and it's like you guys really just like broke it all down. So you opened up my eyes as well too with that. And I guess with my next question, when did you guys know you guys had this like unique gift to serve people with branding and just help them uncover their gifts and their true potentials?
Yeah, so like we had said earlier, we met on MySpace, right? So I created my first website when I was in the 4th grade, and it was from that point forward that I was like, yo, I'm going to be the best graphic designer. This is so much fun, like in the world or whatever. And so I self-taught myself how to basically do graphic design. I learned on the programs. I read books, went to seminars, things like that. And I was creating dope custom MySpace layouts for friends and family. That's how we met. And so I've always had this creative eye and creative ability, mostly digitally, but I also am an artist as well, so I paint and stuff. So I just have a really good creative background. And, so we've been together for 10 years. And so, of course, my creativity and my knowledge and experience rubs off on him. And I would always be like, looking at billboards or just looking at stuff and be like, hey, babe, look at this. Oh, man, this looks ugly. Look at this font. Why would they use that? And, like, stuff he would just pick up and he learned along the way. And then him, just through entrepreneurship and business and even having his IT background, we really have this good balance of how we can work together as far as, creating awesome brands. And, we saw this gap in the marketplace where, like we said earlier, there's so much clutter. There's so many people modeling after everybody. And it's like there's too many Me Too businesses. And we would, have a lot of friends killing it in business, but their branding sucks. Right. And it's like, this is becoming a huge problem, and how can we really help other entrepreneurs be successful and help them with their branding? And it was like, we're pretty good at it. Let's see how we can, solve that problem and help out, because we're so passionate about entrepreneurship and what it's done for us in our lives, and we just want the same thing for other people, because we know branding is such a huge element that people struggle with, and we know that we have the talent and the knowledge and expertise to really help entrepreneurs be successful in their business through branding.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah, so let's kind of stick with what we're talking about, branding. So you guys own a branding agency by the name of Strive and Grind. So maybe you can tell our audience what different programs you guys offer within that, and what makes you guys unique. Why do you guys stand out over all the other branding agencies out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Devona said, we realized that most entrepreneurs fail in the first 2 to 5 years. And if we were going to start a company, we wanted to make sure that we were helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses and take things to the next level. So like Devona said, our background is more tailored to the branding and creative work. And, we collaborate really, really good, and we have a lot of different synergies. And so we realized that the big gap in the marketplace was a lot of agencies. So we actually hosted our workshop. We had a branding intensive that we hosted back in January. And we did like a survey of the room. We had about 20 people in the room. And 80% of the room said, it took about 3 or 4 months for them to get a logo. It took like 4 to 6 months for them to get a website. It took 3 months for them to get a photo shoot done and edited and have those photos back to them. And they only had a significant small amount of photos available to them. So we're like, wow, there's this huge gap in the marketplace where creatives, branding companies, creative companies, and agencies is taking a really, really long time to do work. And then also realizing too that a lot of these agencies as well, they were doing a lot of one-off projects. So you would go to say for you guys would approach someone like, hey, do you do a logo? Cool. Hey, can I go to you to do a website? And they'll take you on. And so a lot of agencies has that model. But what we realized was we didn't want to do that, because one, it's more cost effective for the entrepreneur to have the one-stop shop solution. Most creative companies are missing even the brand strategy piece and the business know-how and the business acumen. They just know how to design. And so what we bring to the table from our unique perspective is we bring the business acumen, we bring the strategy behind why people buy, why people do what they do, what's going to be attractive, what's your target customer, what does that look like, how do you want to make people feel. So we bring that branding aspect to it, but then we also have this really cool process, what we call our brand slam. We only have one offering, And, we would either turn people away. We'd either turn people away so that we're not attracting the wrong people, just so we could attract the right people to us. So within that process is 45 business days, 5 phases. We do your brand strategy for you. That's pretty much the underlying foundations of your business, getting really clear on that. So everything from like your mission statement, purpose statement, core values, price points, products and services, getting really clear on that. Once we're done with your brand strategy, we do your brand identity. So like your logo, font systems, color schemes, and giving you this really great aesthetic that's built off of that brand strategy. Once your brand identity is done, then we transition into doing a half-day photo shoot for you, because we realize that imagery and aesthetic is very, very important. And a lot of people, especially in the online business world, they're using like cheesy stock photos, and it's not really evoking the right emotion, right? So we said, cool, we're going to do the photo shoot, we're going to knock out a website for you, and then we're also going to do some other brand collateral, business cards, social media design, and templates. And you get all of that within 45 days. And that's what's unique about us. No one has really broke it down into a seamless process that they can send all of their clients through and their customers through and get that kind of result with all those deliverables that's really high quality and in such a short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, and we really care about our clients and customers because, we're passionate about entrepreneurship, and we do have that competitive edge where we know about business, we know about creativity, but we also know about branding and strategy, which a lot of people don't know about. And it's like, we could do your website for you, but if you have a shitty logo, shitty photos, it's not going to look memorable, disruptive, and badass, know? And we realized like that was an issue. Like, I hate doing this project, we have to turn shit like this away because, we can't actually do the best of our work. So it's always just really having the client in our best interest, and actually, providing our expertise and guidance based off of, what we know about branding to help them actually grow financially and to grow their audience and things like that, not just create something that's visually, pleasing or pretty, so to speak. So.
And lastly too, like most agencies, they're willing to take on everybody. And so for us, we have a very selective, process in which we qualify people. They have to, be in congruence with our core values and our belief systems as a company. And if they're not, we're willing to like, hey, this isn't going to be a good fit. It's not going to work out. But if it's like, hey, there's a lot of synergy between us, you vibe off our energy, we vibe off of your energy, and we can all paint this vision together collaboratively, it definitely makes the most sense.
Right. And that's amazing. And this is a good teaching point for the listeners too, because you guys took advantage of an opportunity and you guys saw it, right? So you guys had that 1 day intensive, and the majority of the people sat there and said it took like damn near like a year for them to get everything you guys offer in 45 days. So I think that's really cool. You guys took advantage of that, filled that gap, and you guys get that whole turnaround in 45 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I kind of want to shift to like a different question. So what is 1 to 2 things an aspiring brander needs to do like before getting into that world?
Okay, so I would say it's just to be really observant. So, some people claim to be brand strategists or experts, and people don't really understand what branding is. And again, it's all about emotion, and it's a whole bunch of elements that make it up, and it's trying to really create this big picture. So if you want to be a branding expert, you want to get into branding, I think it's a good place to start by observing other brands and businesses around you. So whether it's like you're in the bookstore, sorry.
Hey, stop, my bad, guys.
You're in the bookstore and you look at a book cover. It's like looking at it from a design sense. Like, what kind of fonts did they choose? What colors are they using? Is there a lot of white space? When you go into a Starbucks, like, what's the experience like? When you walk in, are they nice and friendly? It's just really just observing everything from the experience to the design to how the customer service is to the actual product and the quality of it, and really analyzing and breaking that stuff down. And a lot of people, that's not a normal thing to do, but for me, like, I do that on a constant basis. Everywhere I go, I'm always analyzing and looking at things. I'll be like, oh, babe, this looks cool. Oh, we should try to incorporate that. I love how they were so nice and they actually helped me with what I needed to do, and like just things like that. So practice doing that and practice being observant and taking notes on that, and actually seeing how you can apply that and use that effectively, either for yourself or for potential clients.
Yeah, and then I'd say number 2 to that is build up your business acumen, right? So it's one thing to have the creative skill set and to also understand like why people buy and, why this looks different from that and how you're going to stand out from the competition, all that. But I think the other thing that's really important is to understand business at its underlying foundation. So understanding different business models. So for us, we're very lucky to, we work with both service-based business, personal brands, e-commerce. So we're really well versed in how different business models, are currently operating today. And we can become even more creative from a customer experience standpoint because we understand what other industries are doing, that we may be able to tap into another industry that has been something that's never been seen before, right? So definitely getting, savvy on that. Also, price points, sales conversations, understanding how to effectively communicate a message to someone. That's also massively important too. So like Devona said, have that core competency around like the creative piece, aesthetic, look, feel, design, emotion, but also partnering that up as well with business acumen.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Emotions, being observant, and understanding business. I mean, those those three things alone just is crucial. So thanks for sharing that and breaking that down.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know what it is, but we're fascinated with people's lifestyles. Okay. So this next question is, we want you guys to walk us through a day in the life of what you guys do. And I want you to be specific. So like morning routine, what you guys do midday, and like a wind down routine, like what time you guys go to bed, stuff like that.
Cool. So I'll start off. So we kind of both have different routines or whatnot and how we start our day. So for me, I wake up at 4:30 every single morning. And during that time, I get all my me stuff over with. And so the whole background to that is I want to be done with my whole day by 2 or 3 o'clock, and I don't have to worry about anything. Mm-hmm. I can literally do what I want, when I want. If I want to sleep, if I want to lounge, watch TV or whatever, I can do that. And so what I do is I wake up at 4:30, I journal, I write, I read, I'm studying something. So it could be everything from like NLP, persuasion tactics to sales conversation. So I'm learning new things. I'm active as well. So I'm going to the gym. I'm getting my workout in. I'm just doing all my me stuff. So once I knock that out, by the time I knock it out, it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I eat breakfast. And then from that point, I actually start my actual day with Strive and Grind and just knocking out work and stuff. So I end up crashing. I have like a crash every single day. It's crazy. I crash at 12:30, 1 o'clock every single day. And so I have to get my nap in. So we have a lounge back there. I just go back, I turn on some Netflix, and I catch a couple Z's real quick. And then I come back, I work for a couple hours, and then I'm good for the rest of the day. Then I'm in bed by like 9:30, and then start the whole thing over again.
Gotcha. Love it.
Devona.
Yeah, so for me, it's something that I'm still working on defining. Of course, every day is not perfect. I know starting out, I always wanted to have like this strict, like schedule, but it always ended up not working. So now I'm kind of accepting, kind of going with the flow, but also still have some sort of light structure to it. So for me, I don't wake up at 4:30. I used to do that with Kevin and realized that's not for me. So it's, of course, being self-aware of stuff like that is important when it comes to your lifestyle. So I usually wake up around like 6 or 5:30, 6, and I'll usually do my own stuff for about an hour or so, and that consists of playing with the dogs, it consists of reading, meditating, journaling. So just kind of like having me time, trying not to think about the day ahead. And then after that's all done, I'll usually start with emails and looking at like our client stuff, making sure all the project timelines are good, sending emails, making sure communication is good, because our business is very virtual. We have a virtual team, so I'm the one that typically manages all of that. So just making sure everything's order, everything that needs to be out there. So I do a lot of emails, and then I'll do any work for Strive and Grind, whether it's a little bit of design stuff, whether it's stuff for our personal brands, whether it's just working on, communicating with other people to help our business grow. So it's all just kind of work related. Then we'll have lunch at around, I would say 11:30, 12, chill out for a little bit. Sometimes I'll crash with Kevin, but I don't really need a nap.
I crash with myself.
Yeah, so sometimes I crash, but sometimes like I'll just hang out and eat with him. I'll watch a movie maybe, and then I'll get back to work. More emails, more design stuff. Sometimes I'll paint as well. And then usually around like 5 is when we just kind of eat dinner, hang out for a little bit. We might go out, watch a movie, things like that. But that's pretty much how it goes every day. I try, like I said, I tried to have like the strict schedule of like, I'm going to paint at this time, I'm going to be driving at this time, but our business kind of, you know, it has to be flexible, and I've kind of learned to accept that. So.
Yeah. That's awesome, guys. Seriously, thanks so much for sharing that with us. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's the like the talent or unique gift that you guys have not discovered yet about yourselves, but you feel you guys are going to discover it soon?
That's such a like twisted question.
Like what's the one gift or talent you have, but you don't know that you have it yet?
Or you know it's coming.
I know.
Yeah.
It took some thinking, but I think for me, because Kevin just launched his personal brand, I'm about to release mine, and I think, you know, for me it'd be public speaking. So public speaking, I feel like I'm pretty good at compared to a lot of people, but I'm not like the greatest at it. But I think it's something that once I can, you know, hone down on it and like just create that talent for it, that I can be really good at it and have a really huge impact on the people that I want to have an impact on.
Good answer. I think mine would be calisthenics. And so I'm bodybuilder type person for the last, 4 or 5 years. And so it's all just lifting weights. But the thing that's massively hard now is like, okay, how do you use your body weight to do all of this stuff, right? Because you start lifting weights for a certain period of time, it's like, cool, this is boring. Like, you know how to curl, you know how to bench press, you know how to squat, you know how to do all that stuff. But being able to do the human flag and muscle ups and all that
He wants to be cool.
Yeah, I want to be cool, right? And so I know a lot of people can do that stuff over there, but I highly doubt a lot of people can do the calisthenic stuff. So I'm excited to take that venture on.
Gotcha.
Right on.
All right. So just to give the listeners a little bit of a visual, Kevin has probably about 20-inch biceps. All right. So
the mic is covering up right now.
All right, guys. So the next question, this is going to go a little bit deeper. So what has been the most adverse situation you guys have been in, and how did you overcome it? And how did you, most importantly, reframe your mindset to look at that as a blessing in disguise?
Man, I think we've always had the mindset that everything is a blessing in disguise. Especially if you take that risk of just being an entrepreneur, because that's like one of the biggest risks you can literally take in life.
I mean, I would just say, like, at a high level, for me, it started early on. The high school, and this may sound crazy or morbid or whatever, but the high school that I went to, I had 30 plus people that I knew who passed away by the time they were 21, 22 years old.
Jeez.
And so I had a very interesting and unique perspective that I knew a lot of people didn't have. And that was that life was way too short. So yeah, it's really sad. Like, it almost thought that, you know, my high school was cursed and all that kind of stuff. But the type of transformation that went on in my mind was like, yo, if you want to do something, like, you got to do it now. So mentally, I feel like, you know, for the last 10 plus years or so, I've been building up that muscle and that memory, and, you know, downloading it to Devona too, as she's been, you know, going through that stuff. But, you know, I think you could vouch for this too. Our most challenging point had to be November-ish timeframe of 2015. So a little bit of background. We moved to San Diego March 1st of 2015. So we've been here for about 2 years now. And during that time, we both have day jobs. We've been bootstrapping Striving Grind on the side. And then there came a point in time where we said, look, and I leveraged the mess out of my day job to get us to San Diego. We wanted to be in San Diego because we saw it really as an entrepreneurial hub. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, thank you so much, God, for getting us here. I don't know how this worked out, but it worked out. So now we're going all in kind of thing. And so we took out massive credit cards, and we pretty much went into debt for our business. So we hired like a business coach. We did mentorship programs, masterminds. We did all of that stuff, mm-hmm. right? And so that was the sacrifice that we had to make. So fast forward a few months, comes November time, 2015, and that's when we were really at our big time low, because Thanksgiving was literally right around the corner, like the next week. But we also had that upcoming week too, rent to pay, and we just had $3,000 taken from our bank account, and we had $0 in the bank. And so during that time, we're both like really frustrated. We're crying. We're pissed off. We're mad. Like all these emotions are just like flaring up. Like, are we like, what did we get ourselves into? We're crazy. All of this stuff, right? And then there became a shift, especially for me as like the man of the household kind of thing too, and being, you know, the protector of our family and all of that. There came a transition and a point in time where I just had to really hold myself accountable. And I'm like, yo, Kev, you and Devona are in this situation because you let it happen. And if you would have did this a little bit differently, or you would have taken more action, and if you would have taken more responsibility as opposed to really relying on someone else to pretty much pave the way for you, you got to be able to take that upon yourself. So literally the moment I started to have that transition in mindset and, you know, start thinking like, yo, literally every single thing that happens in your life, where you are currently today, that's where you're supposed to be. Because of that mindset and that way and frame of thinking, now I'm a lot more active and proactive instead of being reactive and just, you know, mellowing out and chilling in certain situations. I'm constantly getting it. And so at that point in time when we was in that ultimate low, my actions that I take every single day backs it up as if I was in my ultimate low. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that too. I mean, we didn't know that. That's a great story. And man, you guys, that takes a lot of courage just to pick up from the East Coast to come over to San Diego, make that type of sacrifice. I mean, it's scary. You know, so you guys did it, and you guys went through some hard times, but you guys prevailed from that. You know, you didn't give up. You guys believe in your vision and believe in yourselves, and here you are now. You know, you guys are very successful, and you guys are going to keep going to the top. So, shoot, you know, tip my hat to you guys. That's amazing. Yeah, it just goes to show for all those other entrepreneurs out there. It's just, you have to take that leap of faith. You know, it's like you have to choose, you know, faith over fear. And I think so many people just don't do it because of that. You know, they question it. You know, are they going to fail or not? And it's like, everyone's going to fail.
Yeah, you're going to fail. You are going to fail. If you're listening to this, you're watching this right now, you are going to fail. There is no doubt about that. And like, speaking of that too, like I would just say the first year of being an entrepreneur was probably the hardest. The whole year was just hard. Like, there was arguing, fighting, there was crying, there was like loneliness. I mean, being an entrepreneur, like it's lonely because you're the only one that knows what's going on, unless you had like a community of entrepreneurs, which thankfully we do, but it took a while to build that community. It's like everybody else, your family, friends, they think that you're crazy, and it's like, this is so hard, and you're taking all these risks, you're investing a lot of money, and it's just like, there's so many things that happen in life, and it's always that first year. It's just that's always the hardest, and it was the hardest for us.
It's the sacrifice and suffer year.
Yeah.
And then from there, you get like the abundance and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So. Love it. All right. So Mark Zuckerberg sends you guys an email, and he says, Kevin, Devona, you guys are granted with a 30-second video that's going to go viral. You guys are going to get billions of views, okay, over a week span. What would that 30-second video message say to the world?
I don't know verbatim what mine would say, but it would be around the topic of speaking to creatives and artists and basically telling them to stop doing work for free, to value themselves, to create a success mindset, and stop accepting the status quo of being a starving artist.
Boom.
So, and then I would say that mine would be somewhere along the lines of getting more minorities to tap into the entrepreneurial space, because I can't stand when I go to a conference or an event, I'm the only black dude there all the fucking time. It just doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, we got some people on here like Jay-Z and, I don't know, Pharrell and Kanye West. We have these kind of people who have started in the entertainment industry, or they've started in the athletic industry, and then they got into business. But where are the people at who start at business and climb the ranks in business? And so whatever that message is for me is to just get more minorities, whether it's a woman or Hispanic, black, or whatever, just to tap into business and start generating and creating your own wealth.
Love it.
I like that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay, guys, let's transition into rapid dynamic questions. You guys ready for that?
Let's do it.
All right. So who has been some of your guys' key mentors to your guys' success?
For me, I would say Napoleon Hill, massive early on, just mind blown. The dude was well, beyond his years. So definitely him. Outwitting the Devil, Think and Grow Rich was massive books that added value to me. I'd also say Grant Cardone. I'd say Gary Vaynerchuk and Cole Hatter.
Yeah. For me, I would say Kevin.
Oh, stop it. Hey, this is just for the video.
He's my book reader. Like, I read books, but he reads way more, and he just kind of, like, puts everything onto me. I would say also my high school design teacher, Mr. T. Shout out to you if you're listening to this. I would say Cole Hatter. And I would say, like, any artist that's actually successful. Like, I enjoy, not anyone big specific, but I just enjoy creatives who are actually business-minded and are successful, and all of them, I feel like, have been mentors to me. So.
All right. What do you guys like to do for fun?
So, in our spare time, and we do this quite often, we go to the zoo all the time. We have annual membership passes there.
A zoo's sick.
Yeah, but it's not just any zoo.
We have the safari
We have the safari park. And so it's like dope. It almost feels like you're in Africa. They got all the wild animals. You go on a little tram ride, and they're all like right there. You can touch them, kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. We go to the movies all the time too. That's our way of just like escaping reality for a little bit, daydream, have our minds blown. So I'd say that. What else, babe?
We like to watch comedy, and then we like just hanging out with good people, and we don't mind having a night out. We don't mind going to the club, having a few drinks, lounging. We like going to museums too, so we're pretty like open, just down for whatever.
Yeah,
right on. So speaking of like a night out to the club, who has better dance moves?
Me.
So it's weird. So Devona does, especially like when late '80s, early '90s music comes on. Music. It's a wrap. But I think once I have a couple drinks in me,
Kevin has dance moves.
I
too,
do.
Though. We both have dance moves, but I don't like. I'll dance if I don't have alcohol, or if I have alcohol. Like, as long as there's music going, like, I'm always moving.
My vibe / chill meter goes way up though if I have like a drink or two. I vibe out. So yeah,
that's how we are too. All right. So since we're staying on the subject of kind of the competition thing, who has better style in fashion?
Me. Done deal. I won in high school. My superlative was best dressed, so I had to own up to it. Years later from now. But I'd say I got it.
I would say we both are pretty stylish, but I think our sense of style is a little bit different. Yeah. Of course, he would say he is. I would say I am. So
I don't know.
Who wins
we'll
see.
You guys got some good.
How about you guys decide? I don't know.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, you guys have some good style though. I gotta acknowledge that.
You guys do.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So, what are you guys most grateful for today?
I'm most grateful for Kevin. I'm most grateful for just being an entrepreneur and not having to work a 9 to 5. And I'm just grateful for having the people that we do have in our lives, that people who are other entrepreneurs, people who are mentors like Cole Hatter. And I'm thankful for my dogs as well, because they help me have a peace of mind. So.
It helps her escape being around me. So that's how that goes. But yeah, I'm super grateful for Devona as well. I truly believe that Strive and Grind would not be in the place that it is today if it wasn't for her.
Damn
Literally,
right.
I stress her out. I'm the crazy entrepreneurial CEO, very anal about stuff, and really, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be where we are. So giving it up to Devona. Also super grateful for being out here on the best coast, which is the West Coast. Love San Diego, definitely where it's at. And then just being blessed enough to just be around really great people day in and day out who love to serve other people, and it's not just about themselves, but it's all about serving others. So I would say those are my top 3 gratitudes.
That's great.
Love it.
Okay, so before we ask the last question, I want to take a minute to sit here and commend you guys. And I know this is coming from the older brother by 1 minute too. So I want to commend you guys for number 1, your guys' openness. Okay, so your openness for telling your story on our show, and this could literally change one person's life, and that's what it's all about in our eyes. The second thing I want to commend you guys on is just acknowledge everything that you guys are doing as far as entrepreneurs, living the lifestyle, and helping other people build their businesses and brands and adding value to their lives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You guys got it. All right, so what does it mean to you guys to live a dynamic lifestyle?
For me, I would say it's just being flexible and being, able to grow and go with the flow. Being dynamic and having a dynamic lifestyle, it's all about not being stagnant, not being content with where you are. So it's just about growing, seeing how you can better yourself, being more self-aware, and then creating a lifestyle that makes you happy. That's the one of your dreams. You don't have to settle for whatever somebody else's, idea of the perfect life is.
Boom. For me, I'd say it's the lifestyle of choice, when you think of freedom. So doing what you want, when you want, how you want, where you want, why you want, kind of thing. And so, there's no parameters. There's no one holding you back. You just get to live freely, and you get to create your own lifestyle. You get to design it for yourself.
Awesome, guys. So where can our listeners find you guys' work and follow everything that you're doing?
Yeah, so striveandgrind.com. That's strive, the letter N, grind.com. And then also kevinstimson.com and devonastimson.com.
Cool. Right on, guys. We'll have all that plugged in the show notes. Once again, Kevin, Devona, thank you guys so much for, taking time out of your busy schedule and spending it with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
guys.
having
This was
us.
fun.
It was fun.
You're very welcome. So we'll talk soon, guys. Take care.
We'll see you guys
All
in
right.
Vegas.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to our video. We really, really appreciate it. And before you guys go, make sure to subscribe below to our newsletter so you guys can get our free and new book, The 4 Pillars of Becoming Dynamic Within Fitness.